those were the experiment we were discussing about, the first part. The second part now we are coming to is inorganic nutrients. Inorganic nutrients. See, the plant required nutrients in the form of inorganic. Okay, it does not require a organic form. It requires only a inorganic form for the development of the plants. So, how does this inorganic form of nutrients will be taken by plant? Usually, the plant will take its inorganic form in the form of ionic form. That is, it will not take directly, rather it will take in the ionic form of nutrients. So, generally all will be knowing that water and mineral ions are also inorganic nutrients. So, via the water and mineral ions, the inorganic nutrients will be taken by plant. Now, if you take this inorganic nutrients, it has to be classified. So, the inorganic nutrient is classified into two types. One is essential nutrients. Second one is non-essential nutrients. So, the first one is essential nutrients and second one is non-essential nutrients. The essential nutrients, the word clearly says it is a essential for the functioning of the plant. It is discovered by Arnon and Stout at 1939. Arnon and Stout at 1939 discovered the essential nutrients. So, there are totally 17 nutrients are considered as essential nutrients. This essential nutrients can also be called as critical nutrients because without this nutrients the plant may not be able to survive. So, it is also called the critical nutrients. So, out of that 17 elements, which are the elements which is involved in the essential nutrient is, I have written it down over here. I think you must be aware of the short form of all these nutrients. C is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, sulfur, iron, boron, manganese, copper, zinc, molybdenum, chlorine and nickel. So, all these 17 are considered to be the essential nutrients. Please just make a note of it and remember all these 17 nutrients. Okay. Now, which are the non-essential nutrients? So, these are aluminium, silicon, gallium and sodium. All these three are considered to be the non-essential nutrient, but it does not mean that it does not require. It is required only for the few types of plants, but not all the plants. So, that's why we have put it under the category of non-essential elements. So, we are majorly going to concentrate on the essential elements. So, as you know that essential elements are essential for normal growth and reproduction of plant. So, normal growth of the plant and reproduction requires the essential element, and these essential elements are specific in nature. It is not that one element will does the function of 2-3 kinds. It is like specific in nature. One element will does one specific function on plant. So, that is specific in nature. Third one is all these essential elements are involved in the metabolism of plant. So, all these essential elements are involved in the metabolism of plants. Now, based on this essential element, it is further categorized into two types. One is macronutrients, another one is micronutrients. Okay. So, one is macronutrient and another one is micronutrient. Macro, it means big in amount. Micro, it is small in amount. So, macro elements are required in more amount, whereas micro elements are required just a trace. Okay, so say for example, I'm just giving an example. If 10 mg per gram of dry weight is required in macro element, whereas if you talk about the micro element, it is just 1 mg per gram of dry weight. So can you see the difference between 1:10? So this is the difference between the macro element and micro element. And the macro element are required. Why does this macro element, huge quantity of element is required, is it is to synthesis of protoplasm. So for the plant cells to have a protoplasm, for the synthesis of protoplasm, macronutrients are essential. Whereas when you talk about the micronutrients, for the functioning of enzymes, the plant requires a enzymes. For those functioning of enzymes, micronutrients are required. Okay. Now we'll see which are the, out of this 17, which comes under the macro elements. So in macro elements, carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, sulfur, magnesium. All this will comes under the macro element. It requires a huge quantity in the macro element, whereas in micro element, zinc, manganese, boron, copper, iron, nickel, molybdenum and chlorine. All this will be in the require a trace amount. Okay, so now we are clear about it that inorganic nutrients are nutrients which is taken by the plant for the development. And how does it taken? It is in the form of ionic. Okay, now if you classify the inorganic nutrients, it is two types. One is essential nutrient, another one is non-essential nutrients. Essential nutrient means it is compulsory required for the development of the plant. Non-essential is it may require, it may not require, but sometimes it requires for the few plants. So we are not going to concentrate on the non-essential. We are just going to talk about the essential. Out of this essential element, 17 elements are considered to be the essential element. What are that? It has been given in the list. Okay, now what is the function of the essential element is it requires for the normal growth and reproduction of the plant. That is the first essential thing, and it is a specific in nature. That is the second function of the essential element. Third function is it directly involved with the metabolism. If you further categorize this essential element, it is essential element is are further classified into macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients, its huge quantity is required. Micronutrient is less quantity or trace amount of quantity is required. Macronutrient is required for the synthesis of protoplasm, whereas micronutrients are required for the functioning of enzyme. Okay, these are the component which is associated with macronutrients, and these are the components which is associated with micronutrients. Now let us discuss about all these 17 elements function and deficiency. If there should be some function for these elements, right? My essential elements. So we'll see the functioning of the essential element and the deficiency which is involved with the essential element. First one we are going to see over here is nitrogen. So these are the functions of the essential element, and these are deficiency of the essential elements. The first one we are going to see over here is nitrogen. Okay, nitrogen is required for the functioning of, it is a component of proteins, nucleic acids and hormones. Why does the nitrogen required in plant is for the cell division. So nitrogen is required for the plant is cell division. If this is not supplied to the plant, it leads to a deficiency. What kind of a deficiency it will lead? It will lead a chlorosis and premature leaf fall. Premature leaf fall. Next, second one is phosphorus. Phosphorus, again, it is a component of nucleic acid, proteins and phospholipids. So what is the function the phosphorus is doing in a plant is, it is an energy transfer for the plants. So if this is not supplied properly for the plant, it will lead to a deficiency, is reduced growth of the plant will be seen, necrosis in the plant will be seen, next increased pith tissue will be seen. So these are the deficiencies. The third one is sulfur. Sulfur is required for the vitamin formation, ferredoxin and nodule formation in the leguminous plants. So leguminous plants has a nodules. Those nodules are essential for nitrogen fixation, that we will discuss in the third part of this class. Okay. So for the nodule formation in leguminous plant, vitamin and ferredoxin, this sulfur is required. Not only that, it also required for chlorophyll formation. So for the plant, for chlorophyll, the sulfur is required. Now we'll see the deficiency, chlorosis in young leaves. Chlorosis in young leaves. Next is accumulation of anthocyanin. This is the deficiency which is involved if sulfur is not supplied to the plant. The fourth essential element is calcium. Calcium is the component which is present in the middle lamella. Calcium is the component which is present inside the middle lamella. Apart from that, in the mitotic spindle, calcium plays a very important role. Okay, not only that, the cell wall formation, during the cell division, the calcium is very, very important. So it is a component of a middle lamella, and next is mitotic spindle, and the third function is cell wall during the cell division. And if the calcium is not supplied properly, that leads to death of root tips, premature fall of flower. So the flowers will not be developed completely. The premature fall of flowers will be there. And the fifth essential element which we are going to discuss over here is magnesium. So magnesium, here it is required, it is an activator for enzymes. As I've told you that in micro elements, it requires a functioning of enzyme. So for that, magnesium is important. So it is an activator of enzyme. Not only that, magnesium is essential for synthesis of DNA and RNA. So that is a second important most function. So synthesis of DNA and RNA requires a magnesium. Third one is, it binds the ribosomes. So if there is no binding of the ribosomes, then protein synthesis is not possible. So to happen the protein synthesis, binding of ribosomes is very important. So magnesium is associated with all these functions, and the deficiency which is associated with magnesium is purple pigmentation. So first one is purple pigmentation. Second one is leaf abscission tips. In the tips, the abscission will be seen in the leaves. That is the deficiency which is associated with the magnesium. So these are the five essential element we have discussed so far. We continue with the sixth one,